Okay, this is a week 9 MRS. Going to go through over 1 through 5 on this video. Again, please make sure when you're watching these videos, and remember that the whatever's on the front, the back's going to be just like that problem. So number 1 and number 11 will be alike, 2 and 12, 3 and 13, etc. So if once you're able to do the front, you should be able to do the back. Okay. Also, make sure you show any work that I'm doing. Make sure you're doing also. Don't just copy things down. All right. So let's look at number 1. It says, which step would you complete first? And it gives you a problem. 4 minus 3 plus 2 times 5 plus 28 divide by 7. So they give you a long problem here. They're asking you, which step would you complete first? So if we're looking at this problem, what would you complete first? So let's look at it here. So again, I just copied the problem here. 4 minus 3 plus 2 times 5 plus 28 divided by 7. Okay, this goes back to our order of operations. Our order of operations, remember, we do parentheses first. We do exponents next, which there are none in this problem. You can see there's no parentheses either. Then we do either a multiplication or division. And again, remember, we do whichever if they're both in the same problem, we do whatever comes first going left to right. Okay? And then we have addition or subtraction. And again, it's the same as the multiplication division. If you have both addition and subtraction in the same problem, you do whichever one comes first going left to right. Okay, so if we're looking at this problem, what operation would you do first? So if we were actually solving this, and you don't have to solve it, which operation would you do first? That's what the question is asking. So your answer, on the answer blank, you're going to have a number, an operation, and a number. That's all you have to do. But obviously, you're not just going to put the line, the box, and the line. You're actually going to put a number. You're going to state whatever operation that is, and then you're going to state the other number. This is just to show you what your answer should look like for this problem. Okay, so you're doing what step would you do first based on this problem? Based on this problem here, which step would you do first if solving it? And you'll put the answer on the line there. Okay. That's number 1. Let's go back to the look at number 2. It says Marty picked 3 times as many quarts of strawberries as Dora. Dora picked 2 quarts. Which expression could be used to find the number of quarts Marty picked? Okay, so let's look at this one. Let's look at the information that they give us. We know that Marty picked 3 times as many as Dora, and we know Dora picked 2 quarts. Okay, I underlined an important part of this problem. Marty, I should say picked, 3 times as many as Dora, and we know Dora picked 2 quarts. So, based on that information, Marty picked 3 times as many as Dora. Dora picked 2. Okay? So what would we do here? Would we say 3 plus 2? The 3 being that Marty picked 3 times as many and Dora picked 2. Would we do B, 3 divided by 2? Would we do C, 3 minus 2? Or would we do D, 3 times 2? Again, Marty picked 3 times as many quarts of strawberries as Dora. Dora picked 2 quarts. Write the expression. Which expression could be used to find the number of quarts Marty picked? Okay? Number 3. Christopher bought 13 cases of water for a school fair. Each case is 24 bottles. How many bottles of water did Christopher buy? So let's look at this. What's the information we know? We know that Christopher bought 13 cases. We also know that each case is 24 bottles. So he has 13 cases, and there are 24 bottles in each one of those cases. Okay? So what operation would we use to solve this problem? Okay? Again, 13 cases, and there are 24 in each one of those. Okay, so think of if you can picture in front of you, you have 13 cases of water, and in each one of those cases, there's 24 bottles in a case. What would we do to figure out the total number of bottles there are? So that one I want you to try to do. We've had a couple of these right now already on the previous review sheets. So this is one that I'm pretty confident, without telling you the operation, you should know what to do at this point. So again, he has 13 cases. There are 24 in each one of those cases. So how many bottles of water did he buy total? Okay. Number 4, it says find the product. Product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Obviously, it says 56 times 10 equals. So let's look at this one. We don't have to do a long division problem for this. This one's we can do very easily. It says remember the powers of 10, because I know I'm using 10 here. Okay, so instead of doing a long division or long multiplication problem, I can simply say 56 times 1 is 56, and then I add my 1 0. And you are done with that problem. Okay, remember the powers of 10 makes multiplication very easy if we come across that in a problem. Okay, we don't have to do it. We can just say 56 times 1. That gives us the first part of the answer, and then we just count the number of zeros and add it on. So in this case, there's only 1, so the answer is 560. Okay, and the last one, number 5. It says, what fraction is located at point A? What fraction is located at point A? So let's look at this one. They want to know the fraction. So I'm just going to go ahead and write my fraction bar there. Okay, so my number line starts with a 0, and then I'm at 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, and then I'm at 1 whole. Okay, so I know here's 4/10, and here's 5/10. So what would be, this is directly in the middle. This point on the number line is right in the middle of 4 and 5. Okay, so this point is right, since it's right in the middle, it's going to represent 45 hundredths. Okay, so it's going to represent 45 hundredths. Now, writing a fraction for that number is very easy, because you write the fraction exactly how you say the number. So this is 45, since this is in my hundredths place right here, 45 hundredths. So I write my fraction 45 hundredths. And I am done. Okay? For example, if this would have been here, between 6 and 7, it would have been 65 hundredths. Okay? This would have been right between here. This would have been 25 hundredths. And I could have written the fraction 25 hundredths. I could have written this fraction 65 hundredths. Okay? That is number 5. All right? So again, that's 1 through 5. Make sure that you show all your work. Make sure you you know, the ones that we talked about, we didn't really do together, but you should know at this point because we've been seeing them over and over and over on these review sheets. Make sure you do your best. Ask yourself, what would make sense? What is the answer that would make sense? Okay? Do your best.